back to a guy named Kasha, which is not, it might exist, it's just a story. You understand? It's the same thing with the Bible. It's a particular writing that the Greeks used to use. Because listen, let me break down something that no scholar, you won't hear from no other scholar. There's something called synchronistic chronological writings. What that is, the Bible is written in an order where it's telling you A happened, then B happened, and they're trying to coordinate it like it's history. No other writing exists before that except from the Greeks. Hectaeus of Miletus or Herodotus, they would write and split the people up into 12 tribes. Because remember, the Greeks were the first to write about 12 tribes in history. You understand? When you look on the Assyrians and when them going to Arabia and transfer the people from Arabia to Israel, right? Which I'm sure you should know that they transferred. This is probably where the Ishmael tradition probably injected into the biblical text, because those people from Arabia came into Israel. You understand? So when they came into Israel now, they might have had a tradition. Therefore, when you write in the Bible, you have an Ishmael tradition and you have another tradition. Maybe, I'm not saying that's what it is, but maybe that's where it comes from. Now, as far as the Moses tradition, I just showed you and told y'all to look in my book and say that Moses is not written about before the exile by the prophets. If he existed as an individual, the prophets would write about him because he's the most important guy in the religion. He's the most important. So you would refer to him, but they're not talking about him. Plus, there's an Exodus tradition in the Bible that there's no Moses and it's only 7 plagues. So that's telling me if it's only 7 plagues, when did it get to 10? You see, them are the things you have to look on from a textual analysis perspective.
What's the quotation, sorry, of that verse, 7 plagues?
The 7 plagues, Psalm 78. Psalm 78. Psalm 78.
But
no,
does it say there's only 7, or was it referring to 7 plagues?
It only referred to 7 plagues because if you look at the dating of the Bible, which is a whole other textual analysis and textual critics type of argument, which we don't need to have, you'll see that when they date the Bible books, most of the books and most of the redactions take place after the Babylonian exile. Because there's a tradition in the book, right? If you look in Nehemiah, Ezra, and in Isaiah, right? These are some of the late books after the exile. Isaiah 66 is what's considered Isaiah 3, right? What happened is, you see a tradition where the people coming from the exile saying that you people can't be Israelites because you don't have the book. The book they're referring to is the Torah, right? The people in the land now in Judea is saying to the people who are coming from the exile, saying that, no, we own this land because we come from Abraham. So there's an Abraham tradition versus an Exodus tradition in the book. So that's telling me these people from Babylon coming into town now and say, yo, we come from the Exodus. But the Exodus story was inspiration for the people by the rivers of Babylon. It was inspiration for them, saying that look what God did for us with the Exodus. It was a storyline they created. And that's so all comes the people in Abraham. I said Abraham, they come from Abraham.